All right, let's talk about a metal that's pretty much everywhere, but you probably don't think about it all that much. It's the secret sauce in everything from your kitchen sink to jet engines and, yeah, the battery in your EV. Today, we are ranking nickel. So here's the big question we're tackling. Is nickel this unsung hero, this A-tier king of alloys hiding in plain sight? Or is it, just a really, really good supporting actor? We're going to dig in, look at the evidence, and give it a final grade. Okay, so first things first, what is nickel? Well, on paper, it's this silvery white metal, number 28 on the periodic table. But its real magic, that happens when you mix it with other stuff. Think of it as a superpower booster for other metals. It makes them super tough, keeps them from rusting, and lets them handle crazy high temperatures.
To really get a feel for nickel, you've got to look at where it came from. It's a pretty wild story, actually, from being this, devilish, tricky ore to becoming a cornerstone of modern industry.
And man, what a climb it's been. If you look at this timeline, it just keeps leveling up. Back in 1751, miners literally thought it was cursed by a demon they called Old Nick, because it was so hard to work with. But then, boom, 1912, it becomes the key to stainless steel, and suddenly everything changes. Then you get to the 40s, and it's making jet engines possible. And now, it's sitting right at the heart of the whole EV battery boom. Oh, and speaking of its name getting popular, here's a fun little bit of trivia for you. That 5-cent coin we all call a nickel? Yeah, it's actually 75% copper. Kind of funny, right? But hey, the name stuck, and I guess you could say it was pretty great branding for the metal itself. Okay, so that's the history. But what about today? Where does all this nickel end up? And just how big of a deal is it in, say, March 2026? Well, to put it simply, it's huge. We're talking a global market hovering between $55 and $60 billion. So yeah, this is not some small-time material. It's a foundational piece of the entire industrial world. And this chart really breaks down why it's so valuable. The vast majority, like 70%, goes into making alloys. Think stainless steel. Think those crazy superalloys for jets. But the really interesting part? Look at that slice for batteries. It's already over 20%, and it's growing fast. That's the electric vehicle market, just hungry for more and more nickel to get more range. So it really boils down to this, right? Take away nickel, and suddenly you don't have rust-free stainless steel, your jet engines are way weaker, and your EV can't go nearly as far. It's that invisible ingredient that just makes everything better. Okay, but it's not all sunshine and superalloys. Nothing's perfect. To be fair, we have to talk about the dark side of nickel, its corrosive flaws, if you will. And trust me, there are some pretty big ones. And this slide lays it out perfectly. It's a real double-edged sword. On one side, you've got all the good stuff. It's rust-proof, it's tough, it handles heat. But on the other side, you've got a whole list of problems. The price is all over the place. Mining it can be terrible for the environment, and for a lot of people, it literally causes an allergic reaction. And let's get specific here. When we say price volatility, we mean it went from a mind-blowing $100,000 a ton in 2022 to just $16,000 by 2025. I mean, how do you plan a business around that? Then there's the mining impact, which is a huge issue in places like Indonesia and the Philippines. And to top it off, Indonesia also controls most of the world's supply, which is a big-time risk. Oh, and yeah, about 15% of the entire population is allergic to it. That's not a small number. All right, we've looked at the good, the bad, and the ugly. We've seen its history, its uses, and its very real flaws. So it's time. Let's put it all together and give this thing a final grade.
So where does it land? After everything we've talked about, does nickel make it to the top of the mountain? Is it an S-tier material like steel, or does it fall short? Let's see how the numbers shake out.
Okay, so here's our report card. Look at that versatility score, a 9 out of 10. It's just useful in so many ways, and its core properties and how relevant it'll be in the future, both a solid 8.5. Those are elite numbers, but you can see the cracks, right? Workability gets a 7.5, which is good, not great. And scalability and cost? Well, that price volatility really hurts it, bringing it down to an 8. It's a beast, for sure, but it's not flawless.
And that brings us to the final verdict. After all is said and done, nickel is a high A-tier material. No question. It's absolutely essential, incredibly powerful, and has literally changed the world.
I think this quote just nails it, doesn't it? The metal that toughens the world quietly. It's not flashy, it's not always the headliner, but it's providing that crucial, behind-the-scenes strength that makes so many other things possible. But you're probably asking, why not S tier? It sounds amazing. Well, it comes down to 3 big things holding it back. First, That price volatility and the fact that one country controls so much of it, that's a huge risk. Second, you just can't ignore the environmental and health problems. And maybe most importantly, it's the ultimate enhancer. It's not a standalone superstar like steel, it's the best supporting actor you could ever ask for, but it's not the lead role.
And that's really the final thought to leave you with. There's no doubt that nickel makes our world stronger, tougher, more efficient from the inside. But the big question we have to answer going forward is, can we actually handle the price it costs us on the outside? You know, the cost to our planet and to our own health. That's the real challenge.